So I'm here with Terri Harper in what is Steffi's gym called? Is it just called the Steffi Ball?
Steffi Ball, yeah.
Steffi Ball Gym.
Fitness Circuit Centre.
Yeah. In Doncaster, and we're here to talk with Terri Harper about a few things. So the first question I have, speaking to obviously Rihanna before us, that just as I come in, and he said it was a really interesting topic. So how did you? Steffi winds you up about like being in the chip shop and then coming back to boxing. So how did you get back into the professional rank?
So I stepped away from the amateur game at 16. Just finished school, started sixth form, and I felt like I just had all them years kind of burnt out a little bit, so yeah, I came away. But I always knew over the years that there was something missing. Went to university, got a job at chip shop, and I just thought there's always that were missing, and I thought I could be doing more with my life really. So I remember one night I'd been out in Blackpool, good old Blackpool, came back to hotel room, flicked TV on, and Chantal Cameron were boxing on Channel 5 as a professional, and then I was just like, oh God, what am I doing here? I am in Blackpool, and I'm not really going to chase my dreams. And then probably a few months later, just got a random message off Andrew, seeing how I was, seeing if I want to give one more try and come back as a professional. And I saw that as a fresh start, and I just jumped straight on it. I didn't even think about it. Just straight away, I was like, yeah, I'll be in gym on Monday. So I ended up meeting with Andrew and my old amateur coach, Paul Joe Rose, and he just gave me the plan, that what he wanted to do with me. He was telling me that he'll fly me some shit foreigners in, just to get the rounds in, get the experience, and then it just kind of snowballed, and it just took off massively, and a lot quicker than probably either of us imagined, but here we are.
I was going to say, because you kind of, I started watching you, I think, from the Overnorth win, and then kind of followed your career like since that moment, and I think you're turning 26 in November, so how does it feel to kind of have achieved so much so quickly? How does that feel?
Surreal, to be fair. Like 26, so that's quite old. That's old now. I feel old. And it's, do you know what? Time's gone so fast. I think I turned over just 19, 20, and I'm just like, where's the last 5 years gone? But I kind of felt like I'd just shot to the top straight away, and with very little experience, very little amateur experience, and probably only 10th fight when I fought Eva Wallström. So, like I said, you're straight up there then, and you're there to be judged and criticised by everyone, and you've got people watching, waiting for you to make your first mistake and stuff, and you feel like there's a lot of pressure that comes with it. And to be fair, I struggled with it to begin with, and especially like the internet trolls and stuff like that, but obviously it's something that I've learned to deal with, and I understand the game a little bit more now. And yeah, I'll let you ask some more questions, because I feel like I'm just gonna...
No, go for it. Like, no one's here to listen to me ask you. Everyone's here to like watching this for you. So no, carry on.
So I'd say, like, obviously when I beat Eva Wallström for the WBC, I was a bit naive to the sport, and I didn't really realise how big an achievement that was. And I probably didn't give myself a pat on the back as much as I should have. I know I said to Andrew now after defeat against Baumgardner, and there's so much I'll appreciate becoming world champion a lot more this time.
Saying that though, like, I've got a question here. So, do you think your reign at Super-Featherweight gets the credit it deserves? Because obviously you go in, you beat Wallström in your 10th fight. I think our only previous loss was to Katie Taylor, who is an icon of the sport. You defend against Jonas and showed a lot of heart in that fight, and personally I think you nicked it by a round, despite what the troll says, as you said. And then you fight with Vanders, who's your mandatory, And everyone before that fight card was saying this is the fight of the night, real test for Harper, like going into it. And then you stopped that, and it was like arguably a career best performance from you, probably outside of the Welsh. So from that, do you think that run of fights, obviously undefeated as well as a champion, do you think that that reign gets the credit it deserves?
I never really thought about it like that, to be fair. I felt like we took every fight that was. We never shied away from any fights. Like you said, fighting my mandatories, big fight with Tasha. Yeah, to be fair, I probably could get a little bit more credit, but you know what, it is what it is. And for me now, I believe that the Alicia fight, probably coming straight back into that after the injury, well, probably a bit of a bad choice, but I guess what can you do when you're a promoter? Like you want to please your promoter, you want to please your fans and stuff, and you want to be in proper fights. You can't just be cherry picking who you want and trying to get a bang on easy fights. So, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and that weight, super featherweight, it wasn't healthy for me to make, and it was a struggle. And I guess if I didn't have the loss against Alicia, would I still be killing myself to make that weight? Probably. But I see it now as like, that's it. Former super featherweight champion, and now like my goal is to become two-weight world champion. So. And
going on to that, so heavy rumours that you're going up to 154 to fight Hannah Rankin for the WBA and IBO world titles. I think it's very intriguing fight. I love the fight personally. How did that fight come about? When the rumours started, it did sort of come out of nowhere, but then the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. So how did that fight come about?
It's just an opportunity that came up that we would have been daft to turn down, and after being world champion, like, that's the goal for me again. I want to become world champion, and I realise the importance of having the world champion status and foil stocks and stuff like that. And I just see it as another challenge, and it's something that gets that. Because when I fought in March, it was just against the Argentinian girl, just a 10-rounder, nothing really. Well, it worked for the WBA Intercontinental, yeah, but I want the big fights, and I feel like I've got I feel like I'm able to float about these weights. 135 I can do with a good 12-week training camp and obviously a good nutrition plan. But I also walk around naturally up at 11 stone, and so I feel like I've got the frame and I can float about. But I'm not daft. Being up at 154 isn't my weight, but obviously, like I said, it's an opportunity that we can't turn down. I want the chance to become world champion, and then we'll look at about what other super fights could be made from that. Obviously, we've got Tasha, who's world champion up at welterweight, and I feel like that would be a good rematch. Yeah. So it just makes sense, really, and like I said, I can't turn the opportunity down.
Like you said as well, like you want about kind of naturally walk around a bit heavier, obviously heavier than your fighting weight as well. Do you think, are you preparing, does that mean you're not preparing any differently to the fights before, or is it just a case of doing less of a weight cut and more kind of focusing on kind of just getting fighting thing?
Do you know what? There's a lot more, like, everyone's like, oh, you can go and eat what you want now, and there's so much more to it. Obviously we work over with Danny Wilson, Boxing Science, and Lee Riccardi is my nutritionist. There's a lot more science behind it. Obviously, being up at heavier weight and carrying this extra weight, you're gonna burn out a lot quicker and fatigue. So like your lactic acid levels and stuff, and so at the minute as training is like focusing on being able to cope with fatigue and my nutrition plan. I can't just go and eat what I want. Everything's still to a strict schedule, clean bulking we're calling it, and I had to go on a cut for a little bit to get rid of a bit of fat mass, and that'll just help with performance in the gym and training. And now we're just eating up into the fight, and it's nice. It's nice to be fueled for sessions for a change.
You've been in with world-class opponents, we've named a few already. Does Hannah Rankin bring anything different to the table than any of those other fighters and champions that you fought?
She's been in with some great fighters. Obviously, she's fought this weight, like that's her weight. So I think she's got that advantage over me, and I feel like she will really try and use that in the fight. But we've got a game plan and we know what we're doing. But yeah, she's a great champion and I've got a lot of respect for her. Before my last fight, she came down one weekend and we did some sparring and stuff, and that was good. And you know what? I got respect for Hannah and Noel, the great people. We even went out for food after sparring and stuff, and it was just great to get to know them. And I just think she's a great opponent and I've got a lot of respect.
Perfect. Going on from that, going into the Jonas fight, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were an ambassador, so you're a Stonewall ambassador. I just thought, how does it feel to kind of increase the level of LGBT representation in the sport? Obviously, there is. I feel that Jonas fight, I didn't see much kind of representation within boxing. Obviously now you've got Lauren and Paris kind of in the sport as well. But I feel like you very much kind of, correct me if I'm wrong as well, paved the way for that. So how does that feel to be kind of by leading the way in terms of that level of representation in boxing?
See, like, I just know how it was for me when I was growing up and really struggling to come to terms with sexuality and stuff like that. And I feel like if I had someone who I could look up to, how much it would have helped. But like, I think the main thing for me is I'm not there to ram it down anyone's throat or anything, but I would never hide who I am. And I think that's all I've gone with really. And it's just, obviously we've teamed up with Stonewall and stuff, and it's great for them to have me on board. And I just want to be able to help anyone who's struggling to just to come to terms with sexuality or whatever, or if they've got friends and family who are struggling as well.
But I don't think you're ramming it down anyone's throat at all. I think it's very important to have kind of those role models within the sport. So like you said, amateurs coming up who maybe are struggling with sexuality or kind of dealing with kind of abuse and stuff, that have that figurehead to help you. So yeah, being yourself and going into the sport, I think is very important. Kind of, and also, so going back to boxing. So I asked Sandy Ryan a similar question to this. Women's boxing is fine at the moment. How does it feel to kind of be a part of the women's boxing scene kind of at the moment?
It's massive. I feel like there's been some great fights, some great female fights put on. Obviously Katie and Serrano being one of them, and being able to get out to New York and watch that live, it was something else. And I remember being in the arena and my ears were hurting just because how deafening it was. And there was just a big buzz, like not just the week but the whole lead up to that fight, and obviously breaking down boundaries and creating history. It was special to be a part, like to say I was there fight week. And for myself, I feel like I'm mixing in with these great female athletes and inspiring the next generation of female fighters.
And then, so obviously we've got Shields Marshall also coming up. Really intriguing fight. I feel like everyone I've spoken to about this fight is giving me a different answer, so I thought I'd get your opinion. So how do you see that fight going?
Do you know what? I'm really excited for that fight, and we can hopefully finally settle the beef if they will or not. For me, I got to stick with Savannah. I can remember watching her live for the first time and just thought she's so calm and relaxed, and it just seems like nothing phasing. I really like her personality. Obviously a boxing style, and I just feel like Savannah is just gonna really step up and have a good performance.
And then obviously on the undercard of that, is kind of your older sibling, Michaela Mayer versus Alicia. Again, another really intriguing fight. How do you see that fight going as well?
Do you know what? Do you know when that fight got announced? I was gutted for. I just thought that could have been me and kind of ruined my chances on a big super fight like that. But just credit to them both. These are the fights that we need for women's boxing, and I hope there's a fight for me and Maya there one day in the future. It's something that I've wanted for a long time, and I'm looking forward to the fight. But for me, I'll have to go with Maya. I feel like a work rate will just be too much for Alicia.
And then, a couple more questions. So we've gone through the champions and people at the top of the sport. Which kind of female fighters who are up and coming are you really impressed by? Who do you like watching?
Well, I'll tell little Rhiannon over there. A dedication to the sport. She's 15 years old and she's in this gym. Her dad, they're travelling all the way over from Liverpool, a good couple of hours journey every time, and every time she comes into the gym she's getting 110%. I said to her, like, she motivates me to see someone coming in and having that motivation. It kind of rubs off, and yeah, she motivates me. But also, like Sandy Ryan, did plenty around sparring with her, won't lead up to her last fight. She's just a style of, I love her style of boxing. She's got a very good pedigree, and she's just class, really. It was nice to get to know Clifton and stuff. I always thought, I was a bit nervous for the first time I sparred, thinking Clifton was a big character and he's going to be, I always saying to Andrew, he's going to be Gobby in corner and stuff, but no, like, total respect, and I feel like I learnt a lot from him spars with Sandy. Yeah.
And then my final question, kind of, what does Steffi's gym kind of mean to you?
I'd say it's my second home, but I'm probably here more than I am at home, so it's a very good facility. Obviously I'm seeing Andrew more than I see my own parents, and we have a great bond and relationship. Obviously you have your little disagreements and stuff, but you're gonna when you're seeing someone so much, but I wouldn't change anything. I love this gym and I love the people training in it. It's just a nice, relaxed atmosphere, and there's no big egos or anything. Everyone gets along, and that's what it's about. I'm just coming in and having fun with the gym family.
Perfect. Terri Harper, thank you very much, and good luck in the next fight. Perfect.
Thank you.